Hi everybody, this is Jackie from ESLspeaking.org. Here are my top 5 tips for teaching English to advanced learners. So tip number 1 is to use authentic materials. So if a student is advanced at whatever language they're studying, chances are they've seen every textbook under the sun and they've been studying the same old units over and over and over again about the weather, sports, TV, movies, hobbies, that kind of thing. And they probably don't want to talk about that stuff again in your class. So I use authentic materials whenever possible. I use like some podcasts, some news articles. You can use like a simple book even, or maybe a novel, a movie, whatever students are interested in. That's what I try to use, and I build entire lessons around that. All right, the second tip I have for advanced learners is to find out what they need in their lives. So by that I mean, maybe they're preparing for an English job interview, maybe they need to make a resume, maybe they have to do presentations in English, or they have to talk to clients over lunch during a business session kind of thing, so they might want to practice small talk. So ask your students why they're studying English and then target your lessons towards those things. This will really help to increase motivation. The next tip I have for advanced learners is to really push students to learn new vocabulary. So if they are advanced learners, they already know a good bunch of vocabulary. However, it's easy just to use that vocabulary kind of forever and never really get better at English. So I push my students to learn kind of the higher level stuff and then to start trying to use it in their conversations and kind of in their daily life. You can do this in various ways. So you could do some like news articles or movies and picking out some vocabulary out of that. You could give them some vocabulary tests based on their motivations or what they want to learn, that kind of thing. But whatever you do, don't let students just kind of maintain their level. Always push them to get a little bit better at English through your classes. The next thing that can really help students is extensive reading and extensive listening. So by this, students will read a book or listen to something that's slightly below their level. And the key is they just do it for fun and they don't have to like have a dictionary at their side like every single second of the time they're doing that. So this is really what I encourage my students to do outside of class. Is really helps to consolidate vocabulary and grammar for them. And it's a nice way to kind of push them up to the next level a little bit. All right, the next tip I have for teaching advanced learners is error correction. So it can be tempting to just kind of not do a ton of this with your advanced learners because you can communicate with them probably quite easily. And it's easy enough just to like let it go and you're like, oh, I basically understood. They like kind of explained what it was instead of using some exact word. However, students actually want you to correct them. Even the advanced learners. So I will focus on this, and especially if students are making mistakes with something like the irregular verbs in the simple past. This is not an advanced concept. They should have mastered this kind of at the beginner or the low intermediate level. So I especially listen for mistakes that students are making that are below their advanced level. And then I really focus on them and I kind of expect perfection. And students are always quite thankful when I help them, kind of figure out these things that they've been doing wrong for years and years and years. And nobody has ever really said something to them about it. Okay, so those are my top 5 tips for teaching advanced learners. Please be sure to check out my book, ESL, EFL, Teaching Practice and Methodology. Okay, catch you next time. Bye, everybody.